Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So in this video we're going to begin work on our boost pickups. And as you can see, I'm in the inventory folder within our scripts. And the first thing we're going to do is just tidy things up a little bit by creating a new folder. And we'll just call this Stat Pickups. And then we'll move the previous scripts we created into that folder. So, a couple more, and there we go. Let's just clear down that console. And we'll create another folder, and we'll just call this Stat Boosts. And I'll add an S on the end there. So let's come inside this folder now and we'll create a new C# script, and let's just call this increase battery, and then we'll double click to open it for editing. So I'll just get rid of that message. We'll begin up at the top as normal, and in fact let's come here below the using statement and we'll create our little block of code. We'll add our name and today's date, and I'm recording this on the 29th of the 8th 2017. So with that in place, let's come here now and we'll create the variables. And again, we'll make these public to begin with. You can change these to private at a later date, but let's keep them public for now. Add underscore add battery boost to inventory. And we'll make that equal to 1. And let's put in the comments, so battery boost to inventory amount. We'll create a public bool next. And let's give this a naming convention of underscore battery boost pickup activated. We'll close that line off into the comments. Defines if the battery boost pickup is activated. And let's come to the void start now, and we'll just set that variable to be equal to false on startup. Let's close that line off into the comments. So let's put battery boost pickup active is false on startup. And this just prevents glitches. Otherwise the script or the void we're about to create might run more than once before the game object is destroyed. So this helps to prevent that. So we just get the value of 1 added to our inventory amount. Obviously you can set this to whatever value you wish, but I'm just going to leave it at 1 for now. Let's delete the void update. We don't need that. And we're going to create of type public void. And we need to give this a naming convention. So let's call it pickup battery boost. Open and close brackets will open and close again. And let's come inside those brackets now. We'll create an if block and we'll open and close brackets. Inside those brackets we'll put battery boost pickup activated double equals true. Let's get that into the comments. We'll say if battery boost pickup is equal to true. And on the next line, we'll just say return. Let's close that line off into the comments. And our normal comment of then do nothing and return. So obviously this is the function that manages actually the picking up of the boost. So we set this to false. We say if it's equal to true at the beginning, then do nothing else and return. We'll now add code that will actually handle picking up the boost, because remember it's set to false at the beginning, so it will skip over this to begin with. And then once it's done that code, we'll set this to true, this variable, and therefore if it tries to run through this block of code again before the game object is destroyed, nothing will occur. So as I said, it's just a way to prevent glitches, in this case picking up more boosts than it should do. With that said, let's come to a new line and we're going to say inventory and temp. We're going to say equals, and I'm actually going to begin commenting here because I would need to break up this line, so let's comment it as we go. So we'll say inventory temp equals. Let's come to the next line, and what it equals is game object with the capital G dot, and we want to find game object with tag. Make sure it's the singular, not the plural. Open and close brackets, and inside those brackets we'll just say in the little speech marks player. I'll put a dot at the end here. That's going to be because we're going to continue this line on. So we'll say equals, and let's say first find player game object, and then it's going to be equal to the get component. The component we want is the inventory script, so we'll open and close brackets. Inside those brackets we'll say inventory. We'll come to the end, we'll open and close brackets and close that line off. So we'll put in the comments and get the inventory script. Let's come down here now. So we'll say temp dot, and what we want is battery boost to inventory. Remember, temp is now equal to first finding the player and then the script. This is the most important. That's what temp is now accessing. We want to access this function within our inventory script. And I'll open up the inventory script. Let's come down until we find the battery boost. So as you can see, battery boost to inventory, it's this function here that we're accessing. As I said, this is where we actually add to the inventory stock. So we need to pass this value into this function. And I know I've explained this a few times now, but I think it's worth to keep going over just to make sure that everybody who's following along completely understands. And I know these scripts are getting quite long now, and they can be quite difficult to follow for people that maybe aren't as experienced in coding. So I think it's always good to keep going over some of these basics of how all these scripts work together. So I hope you all understand and are happy with me doing that. But inside these brackets, what are we passing in? Well, we're passing in our value. this variable here. So let's just copy and paste that between the brackets here. Let's get this into the comments. So we'll say then access, and let's just paste in that naming convention. So we say then access this function, and let's break this up actually for commenting. I'll do it here after the first open bracket actually. Let's just cut that comment and paste that into the top line. So access that function, and here we'll say and pass in. Let's just copy this naming convention, underscore add battery boost to inventory value. Let's come here. So this value is now passed into here, and then we just add to our inventory stock via this line, which we've already gone over when we created our inventory script. So I hope you all understand how these actually work. But for now, we'll come to the next line. We'll say destroy, open and close brackets. Let's close that line off. And we want game object, this time with the lowercase g. Into the comments. So we'll say destroy this game object, and we'll come here, and one last thing to do, battery boost pickup activated equals true. Let's close that line off. So if it tries to run too fast and before it's completed destroying the game object, we set this to true. If it tries to run through this a second time, this if block stops it. So into the comments, battery boost pickup active, and we'll put, I'll just come to the beginning of the line here, we'll say set battery boost pickup active to true. And we shall just save that off there. And I think we'll leave it here for this video. In the next lesson, we'll create the rest of the boost script. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time. And until then, as always, bye for now.